A lot of people have been reaching out to get their B-2s filed after an H-1B layoff, and there's this persistent question of when the 60-day grace period actually begins. And this has been a lot complicated by the fact that USCIS says the grace period is discretionary, and that discretion is actually built into the regulation itself. So it is the law that USCIS can make whatever determination it wants. But also, USCIS has not really announced hard lines on how they calculate it either. So a lot of people will say it's your last day of actual work. Other people will say it's the last day you were paid like a normal employee. And others will say that if you were granted severance, you can still extend that out maybe to the last date of the last paycheck. And I would say if you are already out of time, it's worth trying to claim the 60-day grace period and just filing the B-2 anyways. Just know that USCIS is not required to accept your calculations, and have a backup plan. So, leave the US before you've accrued more than 6 months of potential unlawful presence. You don't want to be in a situation where you file the I-539 and then USCIS in the end determines it to be a frivolous filing. There's a little bit of a gray area there on whether or not you've accrued unlawful presence, so just don't do it. Usually, to be safest, I will tell people that they can take the last day they were paid normally. So if their paycheck says they were paid through the 31st, but then the hour calculation on the paycheck says it was through the 24th, count the 24th as your last day, and then calculate the 60-day grace period from the 24th instead. And that may be true even if the last day of work was the 19th or something like that. Talk to an attorney about the options. There are various ways to calculate, but make sure you understand the risks of what happens to you if USCIS doesn't give you the discretionary 60-day grace period. I will say I haven't really seen a case where that was denied. I have seen cases, though, where the B-2 was not granted for a full 6 months, but was only granted for a few months. And in those cases, I think USCIS thought something was wrong. They don't actually issue a decision on why they shortened the time period that you requested, so you'll never really know. But yeah, you're not guaranteed anything. It's all very discretionary and frustrating to a lot of people.